I'm recently about to leave for a trip, and hopefully I come back. But I guess I'm saying this more of a somber tone. Okay, I think I just want to reflect on my life. I was in the military, got shot in the military, came out of the military. I spent a lot of my time arguing, fighting with my family, and I discovered that I still do love my family, but I don't like my family. I didn't like the religion that I was born in. I didn't like the position. I didn't hate um, like our lifestyle, but I always thought we could improve. We could do better. I never hated my father. I think my father resented that he always felt like inadequate, so that manifested and projected onto me. He wanted me to be all of these things, and when I became them, sometimes it would bring him to a disillusion. Like he would always project that I wasn't doing it, that I didn't come to those conclusions, because he thought that if I did, I would come to the conclusions that he did. I would live what he envisioned, but it never came true. Like that, so that's why it's hard for us to talk, because like I'm the reality of the dream that he lived. That he wanted to believe that if you got to this place, that you spoke in this way, that if you got this much money and you got into those positions, it would be what he dreamed. But I was there to tell him, like, yeah, no, you did have some things correct. I would tell him that, but it's not all that's cracked up to be. You're looking at it, but you will never take my word for it, because you don't see that it's painful. Just how much those wishes that you were wishing for. It's like it's painful. Wishing for my enslavement. When it came to my mom, she she has no aspirations, no goals. Simply, she just waits until the last moment to do something about it. Like she picks on the weak. She was a she was a mean girl in school. I don't know how she was in school, but I'm just saying that's her personality. She presents like she's a motherly figure, a nurturer, a carer, and she has a nurturing side. But when it came down to it, she would more focus on herself. She would she would make the plate of her husband before she makes the plate of her kids. I remember I asked her that once, and it was a conversation. Who do you feed first? And the fact that she was so immediate and so abrasive towards, you feed the father first. Now, as I grown up as myself, there's no right or wrong answer. It's very telling what that answer is. For me, the kids always eat first. That's the type of man I am. Now, others might disagree and come to their own conclusions, but each has their own consequence. I looked at her and I knew that's the reason why we've gotten into those issues. Because she didn't put her husband first, she put herself first. Her enjoyment, her leisure. And until I got into an age where I was able to replace him or do the things adequately enough to keep her able to live the lifestyle that she wanted unquestioned, it was hell. My sister, she adopted a lot of my mother's tactics, a bit of her father's. We have different siblings. I have two sisters. The older one, I'll just say this, she's she was the coolest person to me. when I was younger. She was the popular. She was the height of high school. Like I always wanted to be, or like yeah, I always wanted to be her, or at least copy that coolness. Everyone was like, "Oh man, I know your sister. I know your sister. I know your sister." But as I grew older and older, I just seen her as a loser, smoking and drinking, and it's like I watched her be this weak person. It's hard to speak about her like that, especially to strangers. But there's no one else. It doesn't even matter, because I've tried to say these things to her directly, and met with confrontation. So I would hope that maybe speaking it to the world, so everyone knows that I genuinely care, and I don't like to see her this way. Maybe that will be the wake up call. But she just smokes and drinks in the garage. She's on Facebook Live or some sort of live, and she's giddy and laughing with others, but she's not. She's doing things with her life, and I'm proud of her for that. But pride does not negate all the other things that you haven't been doing or neglecting. I still have to hold you accountable. Now I can ease the space on when I say things, but if these things are urgent, it's like getting mad at your car, your dashboard for having a tire flat indicator and a check engine light. It's still going to indicate. It's still going to flash. Even if you knock one down, it's like, okay, well, these things still need to be done. You can't get mad and say, oh, well, I did this, so don't have anything until next week. It's not going to correct it. That expectation. My little sister, she, I tried to protect her for so long, but in doing so, I've stifled her. I think we all did. Yeah, she had to go through a lot. I won't go into it because that's her personal business, but so did I. So did we all. We all went through something. It's like we were trying to avoid her having to deal with those things so she wouldn't grow up as traumatized or abused. Some things that I couldn't do. Some things I wasn't aware who was actually at fault or what's the cause, what I could do to help. I tried my best. And we have had falling outs. She views me like, and I don't know how she exactly views me, but I don't believe it's something good. I believe that she thinks me in this negative tone, like I owe her. And I told her, I don't owe her for being her brother. I don't owe her for doing the things that I did, sacrificing the things that I did. I wasn't in a position good either. I was in a very tough position trying to keep us all afloat because I believed that we were all inherently on the same page, but we weren't. My mother, my father, your father, all put me in situations that were compromising, and even though I held out as long as I could, eventually there was a point where I had to make a decision. Either I'm going to keep doing this for others and hope that one day they'll do right by me, or I'm going to start doing right by myself, which I'm guaranteed and I know I'll be able to do. I went for the guarantee. And when I chose myself, I got a girlfriend. I was able to make confident, well-articulated decisions. I was able to be around people that I tolerated and could stomach. Not every decision that I make is with pride. Sometimes I'm anxious, but there's a lot less days where I'm anxious. A lot less days that I'm in pain. And it's when I started choosing me first that I could actually enjoy life. And now this person's mad at me like, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me. And I'm like, I can never pay the debts down. You never took into consideration the time, the mental exhaustion that never occurred to you that cost something. You never transferred it into a dollar amount. She would say that I owe her 20K, but time, fear. You ever drive 7 hours with a broken leg, with someone that constantly criticizes you, and you're just driving and you're hearing criticisms and how you're not good enough, or what's wrong, or what things you have to fix, and how someone else's issues that you gotta solve, that we gotta solve, even though you don't remember ever being in the room to make that problem. You're afraid and tired, and you would love to just hand over the wheel, but you know that they would crash the car with you in it. So you just keep going. I'm not here to make it like sound like my family was never good. These are the issues. I always present like the bad news before I present the good news. Like, it's like, yeah, there are things that I have to critique, things I have to talk about that are the issues, because like I'm trying to resolve them so we can go back to no, I don't want to ever go back to the life that we lived. We moved on. We were strong, and we've experienced things that I won't say harsher than most, because I don't know most. The life that was filled with struggle, and we have blessings that we're all still here. You know, all three of us had all of us had great tragedies. My mom had cancer, my sister in accidents, both sisters. Each one of them could have been the end of our lives. Me, again, shot. And it's not like we had people help us out. We were mostly to ourselves. We didn't have close relatives, distant relatives ever come out and reach. I haven't had even a distant relative ever call me for my birthday, ever acknowledge me, say like my injuries. Even my own aunt didn't really talk to me, check up on me from either side. And that's not like to throw shade. It's just that shows how close we really are. How it really isn't something that is great or grand or vast. So we've done it by ourselves. And like, no matter how you look at it, no matter if you say we could have done better, we could have done worse, we're lucky, we did it, we're here. I can't look back, because what's the point? If I could look back and go back, I would probably do the same thing, because I didn't have the information. So I'm here now. But I don't want to go back. I can't go back to the way things were, because I want to improve. Like, I have a girlfriend now, so I want to add her to the family. When she becomes my wife, what are we gonna do? Say, oh, okay, let me go back real quick, because if I didn't make the decisions I did back then, right, I would have never been in the position, the confidence, the lack thereof, to be in the position to ask her out, to talk to her, to cry in front of her, to grieve, to build a stronger relationship. You can't have it all. What are you willing to lose? What are you willing to put on the line? And maybe you can have it all, but you have to risk it all to have it all. That's what I'm doing now. Not trying to make things that are. I'm trying to be honest. It's hurt, because like I see people every day, and I look them in the eyes, and I'm like, save me, save me, save me, and then they say I can't save you, or oh, that's not how things work, or I need to be saved. I don't get mad at people looking at me like save me. That's why when I have something, I give something. That's why I'm trying to grow, so I can have enough, so both of us can eat. And why would I do that? Why not just let somebody figure out their own solutions, or their own problems, or own solutions to their own problems? Well, because Like, I believe that they can. But what's wrong with a pick me up, with a little bit of help? What's wrong with helping out the world so one day somebody might one day help me out? Get used to the practice. Get used to being comfortable, sharing in the world, caring, having hope, experiencing things. I'm tired. I'm tired of having things and scared to let it go, so I clutch it tight until I suffocate it. And then when I absolutely have to let it go, it feels like I'm dying because I'm so used to clutching it. I'm tired of watching cringy, boring, and disturbing things and then complaining about it with no end. At least if I'm going to complain, I'll do it myself. And if it's not good and someone says this is absolutely the worst thing ever, then fine. But if someone likes it, then good. I'm tired, but I'm also awake, aware. Understand that this is a temporal time. That right now is the only moment that matters, but it matters because it will affect not only the future and the present, but the past as well. Because what makes a failure? Is it a person that spent the majority of their life a failure, and then the last bit, 10% success? Is it a monetary thing? Like if I was poor 90% of my life, and then the 10% I win the lottery and I end up a billionaire, does that mean I'm successful? Does that mean I was a failure? My failures can never be overridden? If I spend 90% of my time as a billionaire and only the 10% of my life as a poor man, does that mean I'm a failure? Who's defining this? Who's talking about it? I could never be a failure because I spend 100% of my life refusing to be so. See, in my past, I looked at things, I said, wow, these are so bad, these are so ugly, these, like my hair, my skin color, my physique, to have it turn around to be an iconic part of me, something that has grown with me, that has made me such an inspirational person. Like now that, like, oh yeah, I'm so skinny, now that my metabolism is still kicking. Sometimes I'm skinnier than other people, my age or even younger than me. Now I'm not saying that as like a pro or to be fat phobic. It's just there's some things that I don't have to. I'm viewing things as a problem in a temporal sense. I'm viewing it now as a problem, but I never think about it as maybe a solution later on. Maybe in the future it's coveted. Maybe what I have is what is needed, what is wanted. I'm not here to make things for the present. I can be here to make it for all, the past, the present, the future. See, it's like the past is already done. But I made a video for a version of me that did not have a video there. Information, conversation, even tutorial videos that should have been, could have been, but weren't made. So now I'm here. Conversations that, like, I would love to see versions of my father talking. Even if it's just me and him, or I'm the only one that watches the video, to know what he thought, how he was. So what if I have kids? Or what if my nieces and nephews, they see this? The ones that don't even exist. The ones that aren't even here now, but maybe one day they will. And what if I pass before that day comes where we would meet? How would we meet? And this is one way we would meet. They would know me. They would know me eternally. They would know a part of me, and maybe they could piece up and have clues and a good idea. Maybe even imagine what I would be like more. Something that they could see with their eyes, a similarity. That's why I make it. Because I want to make things for the future, things for me in the past, and things for me right now. Because you can't do anything without setting a precedence. I don't expect this to be the defining thing, but if it is, then it was meant to be. But you can't make nothing something out of nothing. You have to do something for something to even happen. Maybe it starts with small shocks, but like a snowflake creating an avalanche. It has to start with something.